Hello, friends. Okay, so I'm doing some kind of attempt at a vlog, and it might go disastrously. I'm already feeling a bit awkward about it, but I just want to try this, see how it goes, see what happens, and yeah, just put some stuff out there on the YouTube. And it's possible that this might just be a little bit of musing, a little bit of just riffing on life, a little bit of feeling awkward staring into the lens, the thing that stares back at me. But yeah, so great. And look, hey, in an ideal world, I'll edit it, right? But it's not an ideal world, and I can't be bothered doing that. I just shaved and washed my hair, so I look a little bit strange, but that's okay. Next weekend I go to Bali for a few weeks, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a 12-day yoga retreat, so I think that'd be nice. I'm hoping that I come back with just a little clearer internally. I feel like there's a lot of movement at the moment, and I'm trying to be a little bit cryptic. That's why these vlogs are a bit hard, because I'm like, how much information do I share? Because I don't want to pay anyone out. But let's just say maybe there's a world where, you know, I live on my own, and I think that's the appetite at the moment. I'm trying to acknowledge that I don't need to force friendship on the people I live with, because, you know, sometimes there are things that are worrying me around that situation. And yeah, maybe I'll just leave that there. So this weekend's a bit of a funny one. Yesterday I had my housewarming. I had my cousin's housewarming, and he's got this amazing house. Yeah, really, like, quite extraordinary. And so I was there for quite several hours, and I stayed and I talked to my auntie, you know, into late at night. I feel a bit cringy because I feel like I stayed there a little bit too long. I stayed there till about 9:30 p.m. and I got there at about 2 p.m. So I was like, oh, and everyone was kind of peeling off and going to sleep. So I was like, oh, okay, I probably didn't pick up on that. So, yeah. And that's that. And hey, if you have come here to watch this to sort of feel some sense of continuity, then you're probably in the wrong place, because thoughts kind of pop up and concerns pop up in my head, and then I think I need to record this for myself. Do you know what I'm saying? There's some kind of like therapeutic tool, so maybe I should not upload it online. Anyway, I'm just thinking about I go away next weekend, and then we've got what do you call it? A house inspection, and I've just sort of put forward that, you know, we need to squeeze in some cleaning, and then I get a suggestion of like, yes, we should do it Tuesday evening, do as much as possible. I'm like, yeah, we got the week, so let's spread it out, you know what I mean? And then it's like, no, I think it's best we do it in 2 evenings as much as possible. I'm like, okay, sure, I don't disagree with that. I think that's a lot. You get a lot from 2 solid evenings, but at the same time, it's like, we don't all have to clean together. We can clean separately. That's fine. And maybe we have different availabilities, so it's just a matter of just sharing the load rather than just, you know. But I get it. You get a bit of motivation working with other people. But I don't know. I'm at a point where I'm a bit done with censoring, and this is not some sort of big censoring opinions or anything like that, but just sort of just trying to be nice and trying to, it's really just trying to be polite. I need to shave here, I think. And I just need to say things straight up, which, you know, it's been the lesson my entire life, really. Like, how can I just speak clearly? How can I say what I want? How can I say what I need? And, you know, I spend so much of my energy fluffing things up, so much of my energy doing things to make someone else happy, and it shortchanges me in a sense. Like it puts puts me out of the equation. And I know, like, through lots of therapy and lots of that kind of work, you know, like I know why it's happening. I didn't grow up sort of having my needs looked after in that sense, and I was constantly looking out for other people. And that's fucking hard, because I do want to look after people and I want to make sure everyone's doing all right and, you know, do my best to look out for them. But I don't know, it's sort of like where the sort of kindness and the compassion comes in, because, you know, you want to do things to help and look out for people. And I don't want to believe, well, I know this is a truth, that people are looking out for themselves and are not always thinking in a compassionate lens, but like, I don't think that that's enough of a reason, you know, to sort of lock up shop, I don't know, and sort of not give, in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but I don't know. I'm getting a bit tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure what that means. You know, I sort of like to think I'm quite kind and quite caring, and yet at the same time, I feel like I'm living with people that are not really seeing that or seeing me in a true way. And like, if we think about sort of the mirrors of the universe and where I'm at, you know, I think to myself, am I not seeing them clearly? Or is this just showing me that we don't need to get on with everyone, you know? I don't know. Anyway, I was just riffing. I was just thinking, actually, maybe it's better I put this on like on a Patreon or something. That way it's behind a paid wall. So if people actually want to hear it, the people that probably I don't want to hear it are not hearing it. But then again, that kind of goes into the same thing of the worrying, you know. I just think if certain people actually watch this, they'd crack the shits. They'd be like, what is this? And then it turn into this whole emotional upheaval. And I think I'm done with it, because, you know, I had quite a lovely time at my family's last night, and we talked about some really good things, and I received some very nice comments, and I know that they come with quite a glow up. You know, I come in and they barely see me, and they know I do music and stuff, and they give me all these nice words and whatnot. And now I'm thinking, if they're watching this, they're like, no, we're telling the truth. And I was like, I know you comes from a place of truth, but it's always this question of like, how am I entering that arena? How am I entering another arena, the house arena? You know, who is that person that's showing up there, here? And who's the person that's showing up at that event, or with family? And who's the person that's showing up with friends? Who's the person that's showing up as a musical director? They're all aspects of myself, but at the same time, I just feel like I'm getting quite challenged at the moment with how I'm viewing things and approaching life. So, I don't know. So, look, I mean, don't expect a lot of this to make sense, because it's just sort of mind ramble, really. It's probably just catharsis, really. So, as someone who overthinks and ruminates all that wonderful stuff, there's identity, but anyway, I feel like when it exits the mouth, potentially, when I write in my journal, it all helps, you know? Now I'm aware that I probably wasn't looking at the camera a lot, so I'm kind of like, is that weird? Anyway, so, you know, I'm moving into this life where I'm like, hang on, I don't really want to be having to rely on these annoying producers that don't really have much EQ, potentially IQ as well. They're not really wanting to spend money a lot of the time. It's just this industry that I'm involved in. It's just like, it's chaotic, and I don't really know where I sit. You know, I'm someone who can play piano quite well. There's room for improvement, always is. But I can get through a lot. I can get through comping, improvisation, obviously note reading. I can accompany really well. I can sense, I can feel, I can listen. You know, there's all this stuff going on. And yet I feel like we live in this quite like robotic space where everything's, I don't know. I think when it comes down to it, just like I feel like people are not seeing the things I am seeing and feeling the things I'm feeling. And then I feel like I'm getting shortchanged for it because it doesn't meet the world in the way that the world wants to, you know, wants it to be, you know, met or whatever. So anyway, you know, I want to see this potential life of like more piano and voice coaching and really working with people who want to push themselves, who can think outside the box, who are inquisitive and curious. It's got nothing to do with professionalism or amateur, you know, it doesn't matter if they're pursuing a career in it or not. I want to find students who are curious and not output driven. Well, that sounds really weird. Not environmental, you know, outside of your locus of control sort of stuff. Like, if I do this, this will happen. You know, if I sing like this, I will get the role, or, you know, I will get the job. It gets quite exhausting because I'm just like, I can't work with that. There's control tendencies, of course, and it's not intrinsic. You know, it's not coming from, you know, internal motivation. You know, why are you doing this? Why are you singing? Why are you playing piano? Not that, you know, I'm trying to challenge that. Not that you have to have some sort of full-fledged why, because even I question myself why I want to do other things, like start Tai Chi or something. I keep going, why do I want to do that? I was like, no, it's fine. You can just do Tai Chi. That's all good. You don't have to have a big why, or some sort of plastered why. Plastered? But it's like I'm doing something in order to get someone's approval, and that's where it gets a bit challenging. That said, you know, I really believe that we are brought the students and the people into our lives that make us reflect on where we're at in our lives. So I'm doing my best to stay open to that, but yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna have to head off soon. I'm gonna get dumplings. So, you know, what is this life? A bit more coaching, moving into kinesiology, helping, you know, I think performance coaching. That's what I do. Like, it's what I do. When I watch someone, when I look at someone do what they do, I want to help them really like expand and excel, you know. And then I think to myself right now, it's like, how am I directing that energy back to myself, you know? Have I just sort of said, nah, I'm done. Now I help others expand and excel, you know? Even though I still feel like there's like more expanding and more excelling, right? Anyway, so I might wrap up now. Maybe this was mildly interesting. Maybe it was absolutely shocking. Either way, let me know if you have any reflections in the comments below, and if you are mildly interested in whatever this is. And if you are not already, please follow me on Twitch if you want to hang out, play games and cook, and also do just really chaotic things that is pretty niche, and I don't know how many people are into it, but anyway, that's fine. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye. Okay, we'll see. Goodbye. All right, bye. Bye. Where's my cursor?